175 AD. The empire stretched across 3 continents. Its armies crushed rebellions. Its emperors were worshipped like gods. And sitting on the throne of the world was one man historians would later call the greatest emperor Rome ever produced. Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher king, a stoic warrior, the author of the legendary book Meditations. Please kindly subscribe to our YouTube page for more interesting historic fact. Thank you. Before we dive into the main story, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell notification button for more interesting video like this. But hidden deep inside one of Rome's most controversial historical texts lies a scandal so explosive that many historians still debate it today. A scandal involving his wife, Faustina the Younger, a beautiful empress accused of sleeping with gladiators, sailors, and soldiers. And according to one shocking story, Marcus Aurelius discovered that Faustina had fallen madly in love with a gladiator so dangerous, so violent, that she could no longer resist him. What happened next allegedly involved murder, blood rituals, and one of the strangest cures ever recorded in Roman history. But here's the real mystery. Was it true? Or was Rome's most respected emperor secretly trapped inside a palace filled with betrayal, propaganda, and lies? Tonight, we uncover the hidden historical scandal buried in the Historia Augusta, the story Rome tried to turn into legend. And by the end of this video, you may never see Marcus Aurelius the same way again. Before we understand the scandal, we need to understand the man. Marcus Aurelius was born in 121 AD during the height of Roman power. Unlike many emperors before him, he wasn't raised as a spoiled prince obsessed with luxury. From a young age, Marcus was obsessed with philosophy, discipline, and self-control. He slept on hard beds, wore simple clothing, studied Stoic teachings for hours. Even as a child, Roman elites reportedly called him the old man because of how serious he was. When Emperor Hadrian chose successors for the empire, Marcus Aurelius became part of Rome's carefully planned imperial bloodline. Eventually, he married Faustina the Younger. And at first, they seemed like the perfect imperial couple. Faustina was the daughter of Emperor Antoninus Pius and one of the most powerful women in Rome. Together, Marcus and Faustina would have at least 13 children, possibly more. To the Roman public, they represented stability. But behind palace walls, rumors began spreading. Dangerous rumors. Rumors that the empress was not faithful. Faustina the Younger became one of the most controversial women in Roman imperial history. Ancient writers described her as beautiful, charismatic, intelligent, and politically influential. But some Roman historians also painted her as dangerously promiscuous. One source accused her of affairs with sailors and gladiators. Another claimed she secretly desired violent men from the arena. Now here's something important. Many ancient Roman historians hated powerful women, especially empresses. Roman writers often destroyed the reputations of elite women after their deaths. So historians today debate whether these accusations were true or simply political character assassination. And that's where the Historia Augusta enters the story. The Historia Augusta is one of the strangest historical texts ever written. It was compiled centuries after many of the events it describes. Some stories inside it are accurate. Others appear exaggerated, invented, or mixed with rumor. Modern historians constantly argue over which parts can be trusted. But hidden inside this bizarre collection is one unforgettable story about Faustina. According to the text, Faustina attended gladiatorial games and became obsessed with one particular fighter. Not just attracted, obsessed. The gladiator was allegedly brutal, muscular, and famous inside the arena. A man drenched in blood and violence. The kind of warrior Roman crowds worshipped. And according to the story, Faustina's desire became so overwhelming that she grew physically ill. When Marcus Aurelius learned about her condition, he reportedly consulted astrologers and healers. What they advised next sounds almost unbelievable. The gladiator was supposedly killed. Then Faustina was instructed to bathe in his blood before sleeping with Marcus Aurelius. The purpose? To to transfer her passion away from the gladiator and back to her husband. And according to later rumors, this
The
ritual
scandal that shocked
supposedly
Rome.
conceived one of Rome's future emperors, Commodus, the emperor many Romans would later despise. An emperor obsessed
The
with
scandal that
gladiators
shocked
himself. An emperor who fought in arenas and believed he was the
scandal that
reincarnation of
shocked Rome.
Hercules. An emperor some ancient writers described as unstable
The scandal
and
that
cruel.
shocked Rome.
And suddenly, the rumor became even darker. People whispered, what if Commodus inherited the gladiator's blood? To understand why this rumor spread so powerfully, you need to understand Roman gladiators. Today, many people imagine gladiators as celebrities. And in many ways, they were. The Roman arena was not just entertainment. It was obsession. The Colosseum and other amphitheaters turned fighters into living superstars. Crowds screamed their names. Women idolized them. Graffiti found in ancient Pompeii even describes gladiators as heartbreakers and sex symbols. Some women reportedly fainted watching them fight. These men represented raw masculinity, danger, survival, and violence. And most gladiators lived brutal lives. Many were slaves, prisoners of war, or condemned criminals. Training schools were harsh. Discipline was savage. Some gladiators died young in the arena before thousands of cheering spectators. But the best fighters became legends. Their fame spread across the empire. And according to Roman gossip, Faustina fell for one of them. Whether true or not, the story shocked Roman society because it violated everything an empress represented. An empress was supposed to embody Roman dignity, control, purity. Instead, the rumor painted Faustina as consumed by uncontrollable desire. And Rome loved scandal. This is where history becomes complicated, because there's another side to the story. Despite the rumors, Marcus Aurelius consistently honored Faustina publicly. He gave her titles, celebrated her image on coins, praised her loyalty. When she died around 175 AD during military campaigns in the East, Marcus Aurelius was devastated. He even had her deified, meaning she was officially declared divine by the Roman state. That is not usually how emperors treated wives they truly despised. So why would these rumors exist? Some historians believe political enemies created them. Roman society often attacked imperial women using accusations of sexual immorality. It happened repeatedly throughout Roman history. Women like Messalina, Agrippina the Younger, Julia Domna, all faced vicious rumors. And many stories were likely exaggerated or completely fabricated. The truth is, we may never know if Faustina actually had affairs. But the fact these stories survived for nearly 2,000 years shows how fascinated Rome was by the idea of corruption inside the imperial palace. What makes this story even more haunting is Marcus Aurelius himself. Because while these rumors spread, Marcus Aurelius spent much of his reign fighting devastating wars along Rome's frontiers. The Marcomannic Wars consumed years of his life. Germanic tribes threatened the empire's borders. Plagues devastated Roman populations. Historians believe the Antonine Plague may have killed millions. And throughout all of it, Marcus Aurelius wrote philosophical reflections that would survive for centuries. Inside Meditations, he constantly reminded himself about discipline, mortality, and human weakness. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But imagine the irony. The emperor preaching self-control to the world, while rumors spread that his own household was collapsing into scandal. It is one of history's most fascinating contrasts. Then came Commodus. And this is where the story takes an even darker turn. After Marcus Aurelius died in 180 AD, Commodus became emperor. Many historians consider this moment the symbolic end of Rome's golden age. Unlike his father, Commodus loved spectacle, luxury, violence, gladiatorial combat. He entered arenas personally, something Roman emperors almost never did. He fought staged battles while dressed as Hercules. He reportedly charged the Roman people enormous sums to watch him perform. Ancient historians portrayed him as narcissistic and unstable. And because of the old gladiator rumor surrounding Faustina, Romans began connecting the dots. They whispered that Commodus behaved more like an arena fighter than a philosopher king because he carried the blood of a gladiator. Again, there is no evidence this was true. But rumors are powerful, especially in Rome. Eventually, Commodus was assassinated in 192 AD. His death triggered chaos and civil war. And many Romans looked back at Marcus Aurelius as the last truly great emperor, the tragic philosopher king whose legacy ended with disaster. So why does this ancient rumor still captivate people today? Because it feels unbelievably
The scandal
modern.
that shocked Rome.
Power, fame, celebrity obsession, political
The scandal
propaganda,
that shocked Rome.
public image hiding private scandal. It reminds us that
The
even the
scandal that
rulers
shocked
of the
Rome.
ancient world lived under intense scrutiny. And it exposes
The scandal
something
that shocked
timeless
Rome.
about human nature. People are endlessly fascinated by the secret lives of powerful figures, especially when those figures appear morally perfect. Marcus Aurelius became the symbol of wisdom. So naturally, later generations searched for cracks in the image. And Faustina became the perfect target for Roman gossip. But perhaps the most chilling part is this. The Historia Augusta may not have preserved truth. It may have preserved ancient rumors designed to entertain readers. Meaning one of Rome's most famous scandals could have been the ancient equivalent of viral tabloid drama. Yet here we are, 2,000 years later, still talking about it. And maybe that's the real lesson hidden inside this story. Empires fall. Palaces crumble. Emperors die. But scandal survives. Somewhere in ancient Rome, crowds once screamed for gladiators while whispers spread through marble corridors about an empress and a forbidden obsession. Was Faustina truly unfaithful? Did Marcus Aurelius really order a gladiator killed? Or did history transform rumor into legend? We may never know. But one thing is certain. Behind the image of Rome's greatest philosopher king lies one of the empire's darkest and most mysterious stories. And the deeper historians investigate ancient Rome, the more they discover that the real empire was far more disturbing than the legends. Please do not forget to help subscribe to our YouTube page. Thank you. For more videos like this, click add, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting historic fact videos.